doing? Good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome. Welcome to our morning meeting with Gracie, our beautiful little Broadwing Hawk ambassador. We also have a hummingbird flying around, so you might see him. But welcome. Come on in. Let me know that you're here, and we'll give you a shout out. If you guys have met Gracie before, you guys know that she is one of our non-releasable ambassadors from the Center for Wildlife. We are a wildlife medical clinic located in York, Maine. So we take care of and medically treat wild animals that come to us with injuries or as orphans or sick. So we'll take care of a lot of wild animals, about 2,000 every year. And Gracie is one of 30 ambassador animals that live with us. So these are animals that cannot be released back out into the wild. They live with us permanently. They're not patients. They're not going to be releasable, but they are wonderful educators. So they teach about their species. And Gracie here has been with us for a long time. Good morning, Katie. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just got it. And it just feels so much better having it short. So our 30 non-releasable ambassadors here at the center help us to teach about their species and about their wild counterparts and ecosystems. So when we go to schools or senior centers or libraries, when we used to, we would do a lot of educating about the impacts that our actions have on these animals and the ways that we can help them to prevent more cases like Gracie from coming in. So Gracie, I'll turn the camera a little bit. I know. Gracie is our Broadwing Hawk ambassador. She has been with us for about 13 years now, and you fluffed up. Yeah. And she is actually one of our most senior ambassadors. She's been with us for a long, long time. What are you doing? You're all fluffy. And she originally came to us because she flew into a trailer, a window, and very badly injured herself. Oh, thanks. You guys are sweet. Good girl. Gracie's hair looks nice too. Gracie's feathers look nice too. She just did a roust. That's just something they do. Thank you so much, Lizanne. These guys will straighten their feathers out by doing a roust. It's just basically shaking it out, and it's a way for them to flatten their feathers again and make them look all nice and pretty. You're such a good girl. Yeah. Yeah. So Gracie actually flew through a trailer window, and she unfortunately can no longer fly. She really badly injured this wing over here on this side of her body, over here on her right side. She has unfortunately a lot of soft tissue damage, a broken wing, so she cannot really go back out into the wild. But Broadwing hawks are really numerous around our area, around Mount A, and they are particularly busy right now. We have actually, oh, good morning, Anne. Hello. Um, these guys are actually really busy right now. We have 8 of them in our medical clinic that have come to us in the last couple weeks. And they're either coming in because they're flying into windows, because they're getting hit by cars, or they're being found struggling. We've had a lot of young Broadwings coming to us because they're just struggling right now. When these guys are first on their own out in the wild, away from their parents, they don't have anybody supporting them, they don't have anybody helping them to find food, and very often this means that some of them will struggle to make it, and this is what has a lot of has a lot to do with evolution. This is how our animals learn to survive, and the ones that make it and have more babies, and they continue to pass that on, and then the ones that don't, unfortunately, usually in the wild, would get preyed upon or not be able to find enough food. And so we are getting a lot of those animals in, animals that have a hard time finding their own food for the first time, or or are having a hard time getting on their own. And so we have quite a few of them. These guys are also migratory, so they do have to migrate quite a long ways. They will normally nest and breed up here and then migrate all the way down to South America and Central America for the winter. So they have a long migration ahead of them. And why are you closing that eye? And that migration requires a lot of extra fat before they go. Um, yeah, she is, Lizanne, she is so cute into everything that's going on around here. We have birds everywhere. We had a hummingbird fly right in front of us. Good morning, Anne. Hello, thank you so much for donating. That is so sweet. So we actually are completely run by donations, and most of the donations that we do get are from individuals like you guys. So we really appreciate it. It goes a really long way to helping us to do our work every year. Um, and we are so thankful that we are able to that we're able to continue to do this. So thank you guys so much for donating. There's a little button on there. Thank you, Anne. Lizanne, she's chirping up quite a lot. These guys are very vocal in the wild, so they're vocal with each other, and then they also are pretty vocal with us. So we've had several Broadwing Hawks in captivity, and they make a lot of noise, and they also love to talk to each other. So Gracie she will talk to a lot of the wild Broadwings that we get in the woods around here, and then she'll also chirp at us. So when I move her around, she chirps. Why are you closing your eye? You're being so silly. Um, she chirps at me, she chirps at her handlers, she chirps at visitors, so she uses her voice as a way to communicate. It's really cool. But because she's been with us for so long, she does that to people and birds. Hummingbirds are so cute. We have a bunch of them around here, and I think I always find that when I wear bright pinks or reds, hummingbirds will like hover near me and be like, "Are you a flower? Oh my goodness." And then they'll realize I'm a human and fly off. But they're getting ready to migrate. They should be leaving anytime now. So you'll probably notice, good girl. I know at least at our hummingbird feeders, they've been really active and busy. They're building up all that fat. Their babies have pretty much fledged, but they're just getting ready to make a long distance journey. So they are feeding like crazy, and then they'll leave all of a sudden. You just won't see them anymore because they've migrated. So good morning, Chuck. Hello, good morning. I know, she's so funny. She is a goofball. She loves to sit in her window, her viewing window, so she loves to interact with visitors that visitors that come to see her, and she'll talk to them. She also does this cute thing where she'll tilt her head when she sees you, like, "Oh, who are you?" And she can actually turn her head like almost completely upside down. It's really crazy. But she's very interactive with visitors. She's super sweet. You're so cute. Yeah. It's also breakfast time, so everybody's excited for breakfast. What? Um, Gracie, as a Broadwing hawk, is in the family of Buteo hawks. That's what we call them, Buteo hawks. Sometimes they just call them Buteo hawks, but it's their genus. So in the Buteo genus, there are hawks that have very broad, wide wings that are evolved to help them to soar. So Gracie is a Broadwing hawk, so that makes sense. And then our red-tailed hawks are also in that Buteo family. Thank you so much for donating, Ryan. That is so sweet. Ryan donates his time and has made a donation on the video. Thank you so much. That's amazing. So we'll see Ryan this Wednesday. He volunteers with us. Gracie, you're so cute. So these guys are evolved to soar. They're evolved to glide over big open fields. That's where they like to hunt the most. And they are evolved to have these really broad, wide wings that catch the wind so that they can stay up in the air without flapping really really too much or using too much energy. So good morning, Bob. Hello, Charles, Dan, and Bart in Saco. Hello. Hawks, they're asking about night vision in hawks. Hawks are more diurnal, so they're awake during the day, and we usually get to see them like gliding over fields and perched up on trees or telephone lines during the day. They are active during the day, and they also migrate during the day. And so we will see thousands of these birds migrating through our area. If you visit Mount Agamenticus, it's actually a really great birding area because our hawks and falcons will migrate through during the day, and you can see a bunch of them at once. A group of migrating hawks and falcons is called a kettle, and we can see lots of those up here on the mountain. So they are more active during the day and more likely to sleep or rest at night. So they don't hunt as night. You might be thinking of like a night hawk, which is a kind of like a nocturnal hawk species. They're a little bit different. They're unique. But these guys are diurnal. And what's interesting about that is because all of the hawks and falcons, the predator birds, are migrating during the day, most of our migratory songbirds, our little guys, will migrate at night. So songbirds, like a lot of our finches and I know you're so cute. And warblers and things like that that migrate down to South America, they will actually migrate at night. So birds that are normally diurnal most of the year will switch it up and change and become nocturnal when they're migrating to avoid predators like hawks and falcons. So it's actually really interesting. But these guys do migrate during the day. And if she were in the wild, she would most likely migrate. We are seeing some of these guys change up their patterns in response to climate change. So we are seeing, for example, red-tailed hawks that would normally migrate to the southern half of the United States for the winter. We're seeing them stay up all winter long. We're seeing turkey vultures stay here all winter long. Birds that would normally scavenge a little bit more, we're seeing them able to kind of eke out a living here in the winter. Broadwing hawks, though, are still very migratory. They're still going to migrate quite a bit. Although never say never. Things are always changing. If these guys are able to find enough food, very often they will not migrate. They will forego migrating because they think that the instinct to migrate is usually in response to like food availability or like temperature. So if it's warmer and they can find more food, they might not migrate. And that we've been seeing that a lot with our larger raptors like turkey vultures and eagles and our hawks. Hello. You're so funny with this eye. She only ever does this when she's on the glove. I know. She does have a cataract in that eye. So she sometimes will hold it closed. I don't know. She's had it looked at by a veterinary ophthalmologist, so an eye doctor for animals, which is really cool. Dr. Claude comes to visit. She was just with us last week looking at a bunch of patients' eyes. We see a lot of eye injuries, especially with our owls that get hit by cars and things like that. So we do have a veterinary ophthalmologist that consults with us, which is wonderful, and we appreciate it a lot. So she has had her eye looked at by Dr. Claude, and it's not swelling or anything. It's just she has this cataract, so she sometimes will hold it closed and rest it. Yeah, you're so cute. So Broadwing hawks are a hawk that would normally be seen soaring or floating kind of over a big open field or a meadow. They also are very often seen perched up on telephone wires. You'll see these guys looking out over roads quite a bit. And red tails are usually too big to perch on like telephone wires, but these guys are kind of small enough that they can. And so you'll see them frequently perched along telephone wires, scanning the roads for food. What do you see up there? There's one of your friends up there. And they make a lot of noise when they're hunting and when they're talking to each other. So if you hear something that's like a high-pitched, whinny kind of call, like a that's that's a hawk. That's a Broadwing hawk. Was that convincing? No, it's not convincing. So something like that is probably what they would sound like. And Gracie here does love to chat with the wild Broadwings that we get in our area. And like I said, we have 8 of them in our clinic right now. So they are making big moves at this time of year. Hi, Lizanne. Thank you so much for donating. That is so sweet. We really appreciate it. It does go a long way to helping our work. And you guys who have donated, you make up about like 70% of all of the funds that we raise is just from small donations or donations from individuals like yourselves. So thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it. And when we're unable to go on programs or go interact with you in the wild, in the public eye, we really we've loved being able to connect with people this way, and we've reached people that we wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So a lot of you guys are either um, in um, in Rhode Island. I know there are people viewing from Chicago and then also from Maine. So it's really cool that we're able to reach folks from all over the country on these. But thank you so much for donating. That's awesome. Um, so Gracie is, like I said, she is a Buteo hawk, and hawks are one of several raptors that we have that live around Maine. And raptors are birds of prey, so they are birds that hunt. So our typical birds of prey would be like hawks, eagles, falcons, things like that. But the word raptor actually just means to grab or to grasp. So it refers to their ability to grab and hold on to their food with their talons. So Gracie has these bare talons here. This is a good signal to us that she's migratory, right? She doesn't have any feathers on her toes. She doesn't have anything to keep those bare toes warm, so she probably wouldn't be sticking around during the colder months. Birds that do live here during the colder season will typically have what we like to call little socks on. So like owls have little feathers all over their toes. But the word raptor really just refers to their ability to grab and hold on with their talons. And this is actually similar to the word raptor that was used to describe dinosaurs. So velociraptors used their hands to grab nests, eggs out of nests, to raid nests and things like that. They had those mischievous little hands, and they were always getting into trouble with them in the Jurassic Park movies. But it's from the same root word, so they both are grabbing things, but one is using their hands and one are using their feet. And they are cousins, so raptors, the birds, are the cousins of our dinosaurs, but they're just from two different lines. So, oh, Lizanne, thank you so much that you're for your support. We really appreciate it. We love being able to share these animals with everybody because they're local, they're native. We could see them in our backyard and not know who they are. And so being able to teach about Broadwing Hawks is just really amazing. We love being able to educate about. I just saw a beautiful tanager. Oh, we love being able to educate about our local species because that's what people are going to get to see. And when they see and interact with an animal in the wild or on a program, they're going to be much more likely to go forward and protect that animal, protect that habitat, take a step towards being more environmentally friendly. So we really think that educating about where people are from and what is here to protect is one of the greatest ways to get people engaged. So thank you so much. We love being able to be here and do what we do. And our clinic, our medical clinic, is still running. It's still operating. We're in our busiest time of the year, and we have like 5 people, including myself. And it's been challenging, but we've been able to do it. You know, we work pretty hard to make sure that all of these patients are taken care of, and we're pretty we're pretty happy with the way that the season is shaping up. It is the start of our second wave of baby mammals. So we have some baby squirrels that are with us. We have some of the late summer baby birds. So a lot of like goldfinch, cedar waxwings, things like that. Some birds have their babies early. Some have them all summer long. Some have them towards the end of the season. So we're at the tail end of that. And hello. They have probably not started migrating yet. It's a little early, probably by the end of like September. That's when we start doing a lot of sightseeing for these guys. The ones that do live a little bit more north may have started moving kind of more into our area right now, but for the most part, they haven't started that big en masse migration yet. The reason that we're seeing so many is because the juveniles, the young ones, have left their parents, have gone off on their own. They don't have a support system anymore, and so they're learning to hunt on their own. They're kind of encountering things on their own. And so we're seeing those guys who are having a hard time getting themselves ready to go on that long migration. They have to build up a lot of fat stores. They have to do a lot of hunting this time of year to make sure that they have enough energy to get down to where they need to go. So they probably haven't migrated yet. I would start looking in like mid-September. That's usually when. Uh, what would she eat? Asked Chuck. So in the wild, these guys are really good at hunting a variety of things. They really like small mammals, anything that they could see or hunt in a big open field. That is something that they would really love to eat. Probably a squirrel is like a little big for them, but anything smaller than that, a chipmunk, a mouse, anything like that. They will also eat other types of animals. They'll eat small birds if they can catch them. They'll eat reptiles like snakes and amphibians too. So they're actually pretty good generalists, and they live in a lot of different areas. You see somebody up there? Yeah. But they live in a lot of different areas, and they can eat a lot of different things. And actually, their populations are doing pretty okay. They've been able to do pretty well in kind of slightly developed areas, so their numbers are doing okay. There are other raptors that are declining and some raptors that are increasing, and it just all depends on who is the best at dealing with all the different development concerns or things that they need to get through to migrate successfully. So their numbers are pretty healthy, but there are other species that aren't doing as well, and it's just about how well they adapt, right? Good morning, Katie. Hello. Oh, thank you so much, Katie. That's very sweet. Will your other broad wings be set free if they are able to be released? Who's that? If they're able to be released, if they're healthy, and we think that they are a good release candidate, we will absolutely try to do that. Sometimes they're either coming in with injuries that are so severe that we don't think that they'll be able to survive for very long with them, or they're causing them a lot of suffering and pain. So in that case, we do practice humane euthanasia, and we can euthanize animals if we think that it's the best thing for them. The other thing that we're seeing a lot of is animals that are coming in very skinny, very emaciated, or with like a heavy parasite load, and sometimes those animals will pass away on their own. They're just kind of they're waiting for a moment to kind of relax and let go. And so we do see a lot of that, especially with these young guys who are coming in. They've just been on their own. They've just been starting out. They might just not be able to find their own food. And in that case, a lot of times they do come in and pass away within the first 24 hours, but at least they pass away in a safe, quiet space and not out in nature where they might get, eaten or something like that. So if they are a good release candidate, we are hoping that they will be able to be released. A lot of these guys do well with supportive care when we give them food and fluids and things like that. A lot of them do tend to perk up and do better. So we're hopeful with all of them. But yeah, 8 is a lot for one species. It's a lot. So we're working on releasing those guys, and we have to get them out by a certain time, right? We have to make sure that we get them out of the clinic by the time they would be migrating, and we have to make sure that we release them at a place where there are other broadwings that they can migrate with. So there are a lot of considerations that go into it. We also face that with some of our migratory songbirds, where we'll get a cedar waxwing baby, in August, late August. They're starting to migrate already, and so we have to, like, I know in years past we've driven birds down to, like, we've had volunteers drive birds down to New Jersey because that's where the birds are migrating. I think we did that with chimney swifts one year, which was just funny. But so we do have to kind of keep that timing in consideration, because if we release them and then no other birds are here, or they've missed their window, they're not going to make it down in time for that cold. So it's just another layer, another wrinkle into the releasing game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions about Gracie, about the work that we do, please let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. We have a few more minutes. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows about the Facebook page, good way to keep in touch with us, as well as our website is a great way to see the work that we've been doing and what our updates are. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for different events and things that might be coming up. We're excited. But thank you guys so much for tuning in every day. I know a lot of you guys are repeat visitors, and we really, really appreciate getting to bond with you guys and talk to you every single day. It makes our day. So thank you guys a lot. And we will be back tomorrow with Kristen and another one of our ambassadors. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has any other questions, just quickly let me know, and then we will sign off and go give everybody breakfast. Is it breakfast time? She's like, oh my God, where? Where is the breakfast? Where is the food? Oh, thank you guys. You're so sweet. Alrighty, we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Let's go eat breakfast, Gracie. Good job. Okay, bye.